Hello. So it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm home, obviously. We've just stopped off to get takeaway and I was planning on running a bath and having a quick bath, and after I'd eaten something, having a bath and getting into bed. But I might just eat and go straight to bed, to be fair. If you've watched either of my two earlier live Facebook updates, what you'll know about today, because today was my first chemo treatment day, so chemo day number 1, was that I was high as a kite this morning, which is apparently really funny. So in preparation for each of the chemo days, I have to take steroid tablets, and because I'm having quite a big cocktail of chemo drugs, so a lot of chemo drugs, I have to take quite a big dose of steroid tablets. Now, she did warn me yesterday, because the appointment was quite late, and then I therefore had to take 2 sets of tablets in quite close succession, that I probably wouldn't sleep last night. But she didn't say you're going to feel like you're on some sort of like really big drug trip. I lay in bed trying to sleep, going, oh my God, I am buzzing. So there were various points in the night, for those of you that might be aware, where I was sending messages and writing emails and responding to Facebook posts and watching cat videos and all the other stuff that you do on Facebook at 2 a.m. and then 3 a.m. and then 5 a.m. and at 6 a.m. I just thought I'll get up and run a bath. So, and when I got there this morning, I talk a lot anyway, and you know, I can talk quite fast, but apparently I was really talkative, like wind me up and then go one step higher. I was really talkative, and it was really fast. I watched the first video where I was demonstrating a hospital chair going up and down, and yeah, I was buzzing. I was pretty high. Okay, so how did the rest of the day go? Well, I rocked the mini ears for as long as I could. My friend Donna would attest to the fact, who sat with me all day, and fair play, because we were there for 9 hours today, and the visitors don't get comfy chairs. It's pretty much a canteen chair, or not much more than that, and it's probably tough going sitting in that chair all day. In fact, honestly, she spent a proportion of the afternoon sitting on the floor. So there you go, that tells you how uncomfortable those chairs are. I probably crashed mid-afternoon. I crashed down from my buzz as the chemotherapy drugs hit my system and counterbalanced that effect. I had a bit of a crash. I'm a bit rosy-cheeked, I've just noticed, and that's not makeup. So that's obviously a bit of a flush from the chemicals. 9 hours is a long day, and truthfully it was kind of boring at points. But it went much quicker having company of a friend. We chewed the fat, set the world to rights, caught up after a few years of not seeing each other, had a laugh and a giggle. I think I was entertaining to the rest of the room. Small room, 12 chairs, quite close proximity to each other. You're only allowed one visitor, and that's not because they think you can only cope with one visitor. It's because they actually just don't have room for anybody else. They ply you with cups of tea all day. That's a bonus. The sandwiches weren't good, really. I sort of chewed on it, and I knew I needed to eat, so I sort of made my way through the better part of a full sandwich. But it wasn't that great. The snacks were better. Oh, I took the snacks myself. Yeah, I knew that. Blanket came in useful. when I crashed this afternoon, I did cover myself in my nice comfy blanket, so that was nice. And I did wear Zachary's slippers all day as well, so I did wear the lovely floppy dog slippers, which were really comfy and nice, and gave everybody else a laugh, put a smile on their faces. I introduced myself to some of the other patients there, sort of a few stories. A lot of them are much older, and I think that tells you that, you know, for most of them, their cancers are being picked up in the sorts of routine tests and scans that you have when you're a little bit older, or they've just become so ill that it's ultimately become obvious that something's been going on. There were 50 patients seen in the ward today. So in between me arriving this morning, and I think we were the second there, and us leaving, and there were only 2 of us there when we left, they saw 48 other people. A lot of those people just came in and only had 1 red bag of chemicals. There was a girl who came in, she can't have been there more than 20 minutes, so that was a, you know, quick in and out. Yeah, I had 4 red bags. I know, greedy. It's like the mailman. I'm sure they cover the bags in the red thing so that they know that those are the bags with chemicals in and don't get mixed up with the bags of saline and other stuff. Subsequent days, it turns out, might not be as long, because today what they had to do is, in between each of the bags of chemicals, they had to leave an hour's gap, just to double check that I wasn't going to have an allergic reaction to anything that was in the chemical. Well, apparently next time, now they've established I didn't have an allergic reaction, they won't need to wait for that period of time, so they'll be able to just go from one bag to the next. Process itself wasn't painful. The most painful part was the very first minute when she put the needle in, and she did that straight away, so that went straight in for the cannula. And then all day it was just being attached up to various drip bags, because it's obviously intravenous. And that in itself isn't a painful process, apart from the last bag. The last bag is a refrigerated bag, so it's cold. And when it goes in, it's cold and it burns a little bit. So she slowed that one down because she said that will ease up on the pain. And my arm is sort of feeling the effects of that. Other than the boredom, I'm not feeling any other side effects right now. I'm sure they'll probably kick in overnight. I might wake up tomorrow morning and go, we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that point. I'm going to make the most of my hair while it's still here. I might add a bit of extra pink to it. There was a lady opposite me who, her treatment is every 3 weeks, so I'll see her on my next treatment. She was on her second today, so 3 weeks ago was her first, and she showed me that the hair was shedding out on her jumper, and they've given me a pretty much similar time scale. They've said that before the next cycle I'll start to notice my hair coming out in patches. And for those of you that I hadn't given a briefing on that, I decided to forego the cold cap, and that was basically on the medical advice. The medical team said that it's rarely 100% effective. 50% of people it won't work at all on, and the other 50% will have varying results. And it works better if you've already got thick hair, so that when it does come out, if it's only patchy, you don't notice the patches as much. But I don't know whether you can tell, but I've actually got quite thin hair. You can see that it's not particularly thick, and it's really fine. So she looked at my hair and she said, I'm going to be honest, chances of it working for you are really minimal, because of your hair anyway. You'll probably find that you'll fall into that percentage or it'll fall out. So rather than put yourself through the process where you have to wear the cap for like an hour or hour and a half before your treatment, and then in between each of the bags, and then for another hour or so at the end. And because you're having 4 bags, then that is going to make each of those days potentially longer again. So I've just decided to not bother. Okay, so just so you know, make most of this glorious colour while it's still there. I am a bit flushed, aren't I? And I am feeling kind of tired now. So there you go. End of chemo day 1. So that's 1 down, 5 to go. That's the way to look at it. I've just got to get myself to the next day now and cope with everything that happens in between. So I do know, I've said this before, but in a nutshell, week 1, shit. Week 2, less shit. Week 3, not so bad. Just in time to do it all over again. There are some injections, and I'll come home with a bag full of boxes of various tablets and all sorts of things that I've got to take. I'm going to have to write a list. Might have to go on Amazon and order one of those boxes with all the different, you know, holes for different things in the day, because I've got a whole bunch that I've got to take. And the injections, which I was getting a little bit worried about, because you know me, needles. The injections, it turns out it's a bit like an insulin pen. So actually what you do is you pinch an inch. I was like, only an inch? Because when I pinch, it's not just an inch really. Anyway, you put the pen end on your stomach roll, and then you click the end, and that's it. It's a tiny little needle, in, out. Even I can do that. And my lad, if he wants to have a go, more than welcome. So it's not a, you know, needle in, plunger, all of that sort of stuff, which is fantastic, to be honest. So there we go. Keep you posted. Timing wise, it's kind of good, because with it being Wednesdays, that means I've got Thursday and Friday, no pressure. I'm not expected to do anything. I'm signed off work for those 2 days completely. And then I've got Saturday and Sunday. And then I'll just have to play it by ear and see how I feel on Monday. And I might find that for the beginning part of next week, I still need a couple of days to recover. But then I might actually find that I'm feeling well enough to kick back into action for the second week. I do have to avoid people that are ill. So it'd be great to have visitors. But if you are full of a stinking cold, flu, any type of cough, virus, whatever, then it's probably best that you stay away. Because that's, you know, obviously my immune system will take a knock. The chemicals that are killing the cancer chemicals in the cancer cells in my body are also killing quite a few other things. So my immune system's kind of low. So yeah, I'm tired. It was boring. I'll update my website blog. Don't forget, www.tonya.me.uk. There's loads of articles and things that I plan to put online, and I've got a few other ideas in my head. And if we do any fundraising, I'll put that on there as well. And I'm trying to keep some of these videos and upload the videos too, so that if you don't catch them, they'll all be on there. And apparently, and to Dr. Thrush, who's the consultant at the breast unit, sent a message over today to say that he wanted to know the website address, and they'd really love to be to share that to hopefully inspire other people, because apparently I'm quite brave and I'm quite inspirational, which is, it's good to know, and it helps me. It helps me immeasurably. It helps to keep me, you know, upbeat and going. So yeah, it was all right. That was boring. It wasn't painful. And I suppose it's the side effects, isn't it, that hit you more than anything. Coping with those. The kids are staying at mum's tonight, which is probably just as well, because I probably, you know, gonna roll into bed and maybe stay there for a while. I'll catch up with all the messages and things that I can. If I don't do it tonight, then I'll do it tomorrow. I've had lots of really nice messages today, which is, it's nice, you know. I've always said, knowing that I've got that support network behind me of people that care, that love me, that, you know, can just send me a you know, a positive meme or a great message, and it's all really, really appreciated. It really genuinely is. So I'm going to go and have a rest, and that's it. 1 down, 5 to go. I got this. I can do this. See ya.